Hi, this is Vivika, keto nutritionist and hormone specialist. So welcome to episode 5 of Doctor's Blunders. I hope you've been enjoying this little series so far. I know that they're quite different cases and not all the cases will apply to your health situation. But my goal with this series is to be able to show you that there are good alternatives to what your doctor recommends. And that sometimes when your doctor recommends things that don't feel good to you, that is not your only choice. There are options. So today's topic is heavy periods, especially heavy periods during perimenopause. And here is a story of my reader who then became my client. And she first reached out to me and she explained to me that she started experiencing very heavy periods at the onset of perimenopause. So the first thing she did, she went to her doctor, and her doctor, first thing, without any blood work or any other test, suggested that she does a biopsy, a uterine biopsy, to see if she had endometriosis. So luckily my client refused and walked away from the biopsy, and she found me instead. So first of all, let's look at this biopsy thing, and let's see, why is it not good to just get a biopsy, and so at least you'll know if there is something going on with your uterus or if you have endometriosis. Well, the doctor will just tell you that the only thing wrong with biopsy is that you might get a little infection at the site, but otherwise nothing wrong. Well, that is not the whole truth, because in case that you do have the presence of cancerous cells in your uterus and a biopsy is done, there is a very high chance that those cancerous cells will spread throughout the body and start replicating. Also, if you are a cancer survivor already and you had tumors before, and now a biopsy is done, there is a very high chance that tumor cells will start replicating at the site of the biopsy. So it's a pretty risky thing. It's a very invasive and painful procedure. And why would the doctor recommend that? What are the options? What was going on with my reader and my patient at that point? It is quite common that we start experiencing heavier periods at the onset of perimenopause as we transition towards menopause. In my opinion and clinical experience, the main reason is estrogen dominance, which can lead to different situations like fibroids or actual endometriosis, even polyps, and a general imbalance in your female hormones, and then eventually your thyroid hormones, possibly your adrenal hormones. So as usually as we talk endocrine system, there are different components involved. So what would I have done in this scenario? Well, first of all, I would have recommended a full saliva panel to see her female hormones, progesterone, estrogen, and possibly also LH and FSH. So to have a look at what the hormones were doing. Once I could see the results of the saliva panel, most likely I would already been able to treat this condition successfully, because we know what's going on with her body. If the patient was willing and wanted to know more information, I would have also run a thyroid test, possibly a salivary adrenal index test, and a full blood panel, just to know about her overall condition. Those are all much better options than just doing a biopsy. You cannot tell the hormonal status of a person by removing a small amount of tissue from her uterus. So this is the sad status of modern endocrinology. A lot of doctors, unfortunately, are not trained in endocrinology, and they do not understand the delicate balance of a woman's hormones. How I would have treated her after determining the real cause of her heavy periods, I would have looked at the hormones and I would have addressed it with specific support to her glands, her ovaries, possibly adrenals, possibly thyroid, and maybe the HPA axis, HPO axis, and HPT axis, which involve pituitary and hypothalamus. Also, I would have looked at her diet and her lifestyle, put her on a keto-paleo diet, and looked at all the different lifestyle factors that can be influencing hormonal balance, like toxicity or possible use of birth controls, the use of personal products that contain exogenous estrogens. So this is a really big conversation, but we're going to keep it nice and short here for convenience sake. I hope you found this video interesting. If you have questions, please feel free to post them under my video, comment and ask my questions. I'll be happy to answer. And you can email me anytime through my blog, The Nourished Caveman, and just reach out and keep this conversation going. Thank you so much for watching. You can find me here. You can find me on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Pinterest. So follow The Nourished Caveman, and I will continue bringing you lots of good information.